New York City is home to about 270 ethnic media outlets, published in 36 languages with a circulation of 4.5 million people. That's more than half of our city's population. But many of these publications are fighting to survive. Just last year, El Diario, the country's oldest non-English newspaper, in circulation for more than a century, laid off half of its editorial and sales staff. Now, that move highlighted some of the changes that many ethnic media publications face right here in our city.
Last year, a city council hearing was convened to address some of these concerns, namely urging the administration to invest more in ad placements for services and programs in ethnic media. But how far has the city come on this front? Joining us today is Jehangir Khattak, co-director of the Center for Community and Ethnic Media at CUNY, which puts out the daily Voices of New York. Welcome back to BK Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming back. And from Infostime, focusing on news from Africa for members of the diaspora living in the U.S., is journalist Herman Houngbo. I hope I said that right. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So Jehangir, we had you on, was it September? Somewhat recently,
yes.
Right? And the mayor and the city council speaker, Melissa Mark Viverito, had announced an expansion of outreach to the city's community and ethnic media outlets. You had just won this big grant from MOM. So tell us what the impact has been of all the attention that we got last year and some funds that we got last year.
Well, we at the center have been using the grant money to organize trainings for the members of this media. We continue that program. We will have one training on May 6th, and we plan to do more in the coming months. And the training, certainly, the impact is, you can view it in terms of how reporting is being done, how the coverage has improved. Because remember, at the heart of it, at the bottom of it, what we want to do is to enable and facilitate this media to improve their coverage of the city issues, the city agencies, which have direct or indirect impact on the lives of residents. And remember, 35%, rather more than that, 37% are foreign-born.
Right.
And if you add the second generation, it crosses 50%. So, and you mentioned 270 publications. Just a slight correction. We have more than, we don't have the exact numbers, how many publications we have in New York, Metro New York region, but we estimated that around 350 should be the number.
Wow.
So it's a big media.
Yeah.
And their combined circulation is larger than the combined circulation of the major mainstream newspapers like New York Times, Daily News, Post in this region. So it is a huge media. And in terms of what we spoke last year and what happened in between. So just like you mentioned that the El Diario has been facing issues. I think same has been the case with many publications. Reasons are many. Number one, the growth itself may be one reason in some communities. I don't want to say every community. Just to give you, just to give you an example. For example, in the Nepalese community, we had about 3 publications about 3-4 years back. Today they have 8 publications. Now, Nepalese is a small community, and their businesses are serving a niche market. So you have the same cake, but the pies are getting smaller and smaller. So that's why, that's one reason.
Well,
there are others as well.
Right.
So when we are looking at a publication like yours at Infostime, has that trickle down happened yet from the big announcement with the city council speaker and the mayor? Do you see the benefits? Have you guys been bolstered in the work that you do?
I mean, actually, let's say yes, because I'm part of the training that the Ethnic Jehangir Commission is organizing for ethnic media.
Right.
But basically, I'm not really involved because I just heard about the organization not that long ago.
Okay.
So I jump on the fact that they are doing things. So I'm still discovering what they are doing. Otherwise, basically, yes, I did launch it and try to be open and to serve my community.
So how's it improving your practice now that you've gotten the memo and you're joining other like-minded folks?
Well, I've been doing journalism since while I was back home.
Okay.
And journalism brought me here to US, so I'm still doing journalism. I don't do anything else than journalism. Even some of courses that I went to give me some other knowledge. I have to recognize it, and if as he's here, they can extend it to those who are already into the system to have more ability to be more relevant, doing the job in this concurrential environment as media. So that would be a good thing. Otherwise, it's really relevant. I was there with one of my colleagues from Côte d'Ivoire. He has never done the journalism before, and he was telling me, "Oh, this is good. This is good." Okay, so at least we learned something for those who never been in touch with the system or how to handle. Maybe last time we had a courses on Photoshop. Photoshop, how to do those tricking images before you post it, how to change the images to have it more. I knew it before.
Yeah,
right. But now it's
But for them to highlight it and to refresh my memory on it, I went back to it, and even for some other images that I use on my website right after the courses, it was perfect. But I wanted to improve it. I wanted to use the knowledge that I get from that courses. So it boosts us, yes, for sure. But I don't know if the many challenges actually running your own website is the financing, the funding. So you do everything by your own, and when you go even to the community, to the little businesses, asking them, okay, we have a little page here for you to share what you are doing, your business with the community. Yeah, well. Okay, we'll see.
Well, speaking of challenges, what kind of impact has the Trump administration potentially had on the city's ethnic media?
You see, the media itself is always a reflection of the society or the audience that it is covering. So if you look at the ethnic and community media world, they are working at the hyper-local level. They're covering the communities that may not be very visible, and given the environment that we are in, where the fear factor is definitely very visible, so you do see that anxiety, in the newspapers' coverages. In the beginning, there were reports in the media that people were leaving jobs, especially those who were undocumented, or for example, working in restaurants. And they were leaving the jobs because they were scared. Many people who had to take trains were scared that they didn't want to take trains, so they thought that it's better to stay home than take the risk of going on the train. So definitely it had some impact in the beginning, I would say. I cannot give you like a definite answer that it has a real good impact or a worst impact, but certainly in the beginning, there were reports and that environment of fear was reflected in different ways in this media.
Is there a fear that some of that funding that has just been granted or some of the new attention that has just been received is going to be pulled now? Or that it's threatened in some way?
You see, the subjects like, the sanctuary cities, for example, the federal funding for the cities, and immigration itself has always remained a very hot topic for this media. And in these times, it remains a very important subject for them. And they want to cover it because people want to know more. They want to know even their own rights, how they can react, if they are in a situation where they need some legal support, what are the resources available, how the community organizations are, gearing up to face any possible future challenges that may impact their civil liberties.
I want to go to you now and see, we hear a lot about immigration in the context of this wall with our southern borders, and we tend to tell the story through Spanish-speaking people. I wondered how the African diaspora community is responding to these reports about immigration and ICE roundups and all of this stuff. What is the word from that community?
The fear is everywhere now. Everybody is scared about it. He said there's some don't go to work anymore. Even yesterday, I'm filing a report on a Cameroonian guys who has been visited 4th time already by the immigration officials. So he called me even yesterday saying that, hey, listen, what you are doing, I don't know how you can help me to solve this problem, because before yesterday, they knocked at my door. I didn't open it, and they called me on my phone. So how could you? I said, well, I'm just a journalist, so I'm showing your case, and for those who are in charge of resolving your issue to help you. So that's kind of his cases. We have a lot of into the community. Everybody is scared about what's going on. But one of the survey that I filed on my website was to give them the real idea about the immigration, Trump administration position on immigration. It's kind of, the situation was the same even in the past. Trump just highlighted, if you have something to do to fix your situation, to be more legal in this country, you just have to do it and be careful about it. And that gave me more view that you can't even imagine. Really? That show concretely that people are more scared about what is being said about immigration policy, throwing people out, build the wall between the U.S. border and Mexico. The fear is everywhere, even into the African community, and people are scared. Lawyers are taking advantage on some, and those don't really know where to knock the door to have the appropriate advice about what to do. So Infostime, as well as some of those media that I saw online, try to guide them, not to give them the advice of what to do, and no, we go to the specialists, right, and who explain what to do, right, who to go to, and have a concrete answer about your own case, because we have so many immigrants that have a different situation. So there's a different way to handle them. So that's kind of, that's
what you're focusing
on
now.
We highlight the immigration policy from Washington.
Excellent.
I just want to add one thing besides
this is our last 10 seconds, so make it count.
Okay. Besides the environment of fear, there is a new wave of activism as well. People are becoming more engaged politically, so which is a good part as well. I mean, I don't want to say
just leave us with fear.
Right.
People are becoming emboldened.
Right.
People are becoming emboldened. They're getting more involved. Civic engagement leads to more political engagement. So you are seeing that activism, a little bit more.
Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so
the
much
work
for joining
and
us.
your being here today.
In the past, they didn't know that they get involved into the activism, so might help them. So now they are more aware of the fact that we should stand and speak up to be here from the.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
And this
Check
is how.
them out in Info Times.
Thank you.